Hey friends, Michelle Francesca here. I'm excited for this Empowered Life broadcast, and I wanted to share with you today some support, some intuitive thoughts that I have been receiving from Spirit for this incredible season, this incredible time at the beginning here of 2022. A lot happening this month in the heavenlies and in the earth and on the earth. We are certainly getting shaken out of our constructs, out of our boxes. And the picture that I saw that was so simple and so beautiful was a packet of seeds. There's so much potential in a packet of seeds, but that seed packet has to be broken open for the potential that's in the seeds to be released, to be actualized. And as I say that, I think of that as being a wonderful object lesson for children. But children, I think, is at the heart of these intuitive thoughts. The importance of children, the image of children, the holding a vision for the children, for the next generation, for an age of innocence. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that in just a moment. But also the child in us. The child in us that is being reintroduced to the seed potential that's been lying dormant perhaps, or stifled in its packet. Seeds of potential meaning ideas, acts of kindness, our true colors coming forth, things that the world is hungry for. And our shell, our packet is getting ripped open. Can anybody relate? But for a reason, so that the fullness of our potential can be released. And I think when we realize that ripping has a purpose, it helps us to endure through the times. It helps in being ripped away from the stand in the grocery store, from being ripped away from, what has felt like home to us. But nevertheless, that packet has been constricting and being a box, a resistance to the potential of the seeds within, that is us. The parable of the sower came to mind, and the admonition, stop trying to bear quality fruit in soil or in environments or in relationships or in patterns of behavior that will sabotage your productivity over and over again. The thorns, the weeds, the vultures, the stones, the cares of this life, the thieves, the saboteurs, the shallow, resistant mindsets, we're being called to let them go and choose new ground. And I believe it's higher ground, and realize that what is being torn open, what is being ripped away are the things that are preventing our potential from being released and sown. So I hear the question, what has trampled your garden? Every precious leaf and petal and flower and plant that is you is undergoing the tender nurture of the gardener, the husbandman. And I'm hearing, allow the tending, allow the tending, prioritize the tending. I see the movement of some plants to new soils, to new locations. I hear the sound of a kind and gentle song being sung over other plants. Rains of refreshing on parched ground. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? That was a song that was resounding, or a rhyme that was resounding in my heart as I was sitting with Spirit in preparation for this time. How does your garden grow? Each garden grows differently, uniquely, and we're being asked, I believe, to really take that into consideration at this time. How does your garden grow? Allow for each part of you, the unique aspects of you, to be honored, to come forth with the truth about the primal needs that we each have. How does your garden grow? It's okay. Allow for that. A thought I had also along with this is hairstyles, women and men. For example, we might look at our hair and never be quite satisfied. If it's straight, we want it curly. If it's thin, we want it thick, right? And we find ourselves being frustrated with our particular hair type or hair color or hair style. And then feeling like my hair is bad, while this one's hair is great, or whatever it might be. But it's really never a question of any one type of hair being the wrong kind of hair. It's really just about taking the hair that we have and finding ways to manage it well so that it can be the best of that version of hair that it can be. And that's what I'm hearing here. Let's not compare ourselves to another garden. Let's ask ourselves, how does your garden grow, and honor those needs? Pruning. Pruning, snip, snip, cut and ouch. Pruning is uncomfortable, but there is a clearing for new growth. This clearing is very important. If you can envision a ground space being cleared for new seeds and for new plantings, then I believe it helps when that hoe is just being scraped over our heads as we are being cleared, opened, torn, and cleared for some new potential to spring forth, potential that perhaps has been dormant in dark places, seed packet places for a long time. I heard this question too that I want to present to you. Who is the garden for? If you are the garden, why do you want to flourish? Have you wanted to flourish? Perhaps in asking the question, why do I want to flourish? There is new reason to flourish, because as we freely give of the things that are natural, organic, true to us, our organic, natural radiance and glory, without comparison to another petal or color or flower or garden type, when we release that glory, all creation around us is inspired to its highest potential. Think about it. A garden that is flourishing begins to attract bees and butterflies and all kinds of creatures and animals that then take that flourishing, take that productivity far beyond the gates of our own garden without us even trying. When we flourish, creation is inspired. And this can be a fresh reason to grow, a fresh reason to allow for the tending of our soil, allow for the painful pruning, allow for us to ask the question, how does my garden grow, and how can I honor those needs being met? There is nothing separated from its maker. Source is all in all, sustaining and upholding all things by its powerful life force, frequency, word, vibration. And I believe we're being called at this time in support of ourselves, in support of this pushing through to this new land, this land of promise that we are, that is flowing with milk and honey, to harmonize our garden to this life force sound, this optimum life potential. A phrase that I heard in a previous time in preparation for a video, which I didn't actually share, I'm going to share it here, is this. It's an interesting phrase. Sit openly with space between your legs. for new, brand new, unheard of, not yet conceived things. Reminds me of the scripture in 1 Corinthians 2:9. Eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor has ascended up in the heart of man the things that have been prepared for him by God. I believe key to this time is openness, receptivity, not being wadded up and closed with a minimized sight and perception of possibility. That we should sit openly with space between our legs for the birthing of a new world through us. That we should relax into the living waters, allow for that birthing in a peaceful way, prioritizing our centeredness, birthing that new world, that new thing through us, bringing into a spacious place, into a cleared place, something that perhaps we've never even considered before. The old way won't work where we're going. We need space for the expanded consciousness that we now carry. This question came to mind as well. Who would you be if no one knew you? That's an interesting thought. Who would you be if no one knew you? If you didn't feel you had to uphold some kind of personality construct or uphold a story that's called your past, that you didn't feel you had to live off of that story or present yourself to anybody in any kind of way simply because they knew you yesterday, who would you be if no one knew you? The limitation that we carry is only based on the past, evidence of the past that we carry with us in our memory and our thoughts. But we can be new every morning. Lamentations is a book in the Old Testament of the Bible that is written in the midst of a lot of death, a lot of end. And in that end, words speak of new beginnings. Right there in chapter 3, it reads, because of the Lord's or Elohim or God's loving kindness, because of God's chesed, we are not consumed. Taman, meaning we're not done, we're not finished. There's always something new to be brought forth, even in a time of great death, of great loss. Because of the Lord's loving kindness, we're not done. His mercies, his compassions, in Hebrew, rechab, rechem, also meaning womb, are new. Every morning, some versions add, the Lord's womb, God's womb, the creative womb that we carry in us, Christ in us, the expectation of glory is new. It is continually bringing forth new things. So I believe we're being asked to open up and make room for new dreams, new conceptions, and new creations. To allow these to be nurtured in life-giving waters and let all resistance be torn away, torn down, let that packet get opened up for the light to shine and come and touch those seeds so that we can sow the seed of our own potential into the earth in fullness. What are we birthing? Well, that could have so many answers, but I do believe one of the answers, or one of the foundational cornerstones of that answer, is our innocence. I believe we're birthing our innocence, a new age of innocence. We are allowing the death, the worthiness of punishment construct idea that's been wrapped up in the sin mentality that we are born rotten to the core, that is falling away. The shell of that is falling away, and we are being birthed into our innocence, into our God potential, our God-empowered potential. The root is having the axe laid to it. The axe being laid to the root of sin, of hamartia, which is a forfeiture of our God-empowered nature and potential. Wow, what a picture of the shell being broken off, the shell of an age, a Piscean age, being broken off. Now we're free for the air to touch us, for the sun to shine upon us, for the light to come in, for us to be mingled and integrated with the earth under the influence of those life-giving waters, bringing refreshing, so that what is in the incorruptible seed, Christ in us, as us, being unfolded now in these times. What else is being birthed? I believe our potential, as we've spoken of, our true rhythms, our optimum climate and lifestyle in which we can best flourish. How does your garden grow? A divine experiment of the times, you could call it. It could be something as simple as drinking more water every day, supporting our body's needs, or it could be something more radical, like pulling away from a relationship or a job that's been like the seed, the packet seed around the packet around the seed, so that we can flourish forth and bring forth the things that are within us. Together and individually, we are Christ's body. We are the Christ mind's body, connected universally, and allowing now a nurture of that integrated intelligence, body intelligence, soul knowing, Christ mind intelligence, and hearing the truth that our body is speaking to us, that our soul is speaking to us, that the Christ mind is releasing to us. God's pen in our hand to write or rewrite our scroll, changing our past right here from this present moment. The book is you, the garden is you, the body is you, the temple is you. And the days of sacrifice are over, and the days of embodiment of the fullness are here. Days of greater works still hold space. So let us do what we are impulsed by Spirit within us to do, and open like that rosebud to the pleasurable, co-creative consummation and touch with the unlimited divine. I hope that you will take courage and strength from these very simple images and pictures today about being that garden that is ripe for flourishing. Allow that tending, allow that uncomfortable pruning. Ask yourself, how does my garden best grow? Get a fresh perspective of the beauty, the expanded beauty that comes from your flourishing. And I hope that this will support you for these very powerful and intense weeks where things are happening in the heavens and in the earth, that we would hold fast to our centeredness, that we would prioritize that, so that the rest of what is going on around us can be out there in the peripheral, but that we can really nurture the seed of our potential at this time and be prepared to be sown into the earth through the portal into the new earth, to bring those initial flourishings that the new earth will need to be able to feed humanity who is not yet caught up to this forerunning act, prophetic act. God bless you. I hope that you will follow me at michellefrancesca.com, where you can tap into coaching and care and community and courses I look forward to seeing you there. Share this out, hit the subscription so we can spend time on this channel again soon. See you next time.